Of course, you can just heat up your Thanksgiving leftovers like normal, but there's a much better and easier way to use them to make something so good your leftovers will taste even better than on Thanksgiving. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna need is a nice casserole dish. And in this dish, we're gonna be throwing in pretty much all of our Thanksgiving leftovers. I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of spray olive oil, and then I'm gonna grab our Thanksgiving cornbread. I got here a delicious brown butter and honey lemon cornbread that I made on Thanksgiving, and to prep it, I'm just gonna crumble it over our casserole dish and then press the cornbread into our dish, making sure to compact it enough to give us a nice little cornbread layer on the bottom. It should look something like this, nice and compact, and a beautiful foundation for what we're gonna put next, which is our pork. Besides our turkey, I always like to make a second protein for Thanksgiving, and this year I made a mole-whole slow-cooked pork shoulder. It has a bunch of delicious mole-whole juices that our cornbread is gonna soak up nicely. And to prep it, all we're gonna do is just layer it over the cornbread, making sure to get it edge to edge in our casserole dish. Once it's spread out thoroughly in our casserole dish, we're next gonna head on over to our oven and set it to 375 degrees convection bake. Back to our casserole, the next thing we're gonna layer in is our stuffing, or in this case, my homemade focaccia. I'm not the biggest fan of stuffing, and I feel like this homemade rosemary focaccia will do a better job at boosting the flavor profile of this dish. If you wanna learn how to make your own focaccia, I'll link my focaccia video right here as well and in the description. It's very easy to follow and it's super delicious. Now to prep this focaccia, I'm gonna get my knife and cut it into little cubes. For the size of the cubes, I'm going for something that's about the same size as stuffing. And if you have stuffing left over, you could obviously use it here as well. Once all my focaccia is cubed up, I'm gonna throw it in a bowl and then toss it into our casserole dish, making sure to spread it out nice and evenly. And now let's move on to our turkey. I got here a mixture of white and dark meat of some turkey plus a turkey leg. And to prep it, we're gonna grab a small bowl and then just shred our meat into that bowl. My turkey's coming straight from the refrigerator, so it's a little tough after drying out, but look at how tender this turkey leg is. The whole thing just peeled off the bone still. Tendernism. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, make sure you peel the skin off the turkey and separate it from the shredded turkey bowl. Once all your turkey is in the bowl nicely shredded, the next thing we're gonna grab is some cranberry sauce. Editor Xander here, don't judge me too hard, but we're gonna now throw in a few tablespoons of our cranberry sauce in our shredded turkey, making sure to mix it up very thoroughly. If you don't like cranberry sauce, don't stress. I think a better version of this is using some gravy left over, but I don't have any gravy left over. I only have cranberry sauce, so we're using the cranberry sauce. Once the cranberry sauce is thoroughly mixed in your turkey, I'm now gonna pour that turkey into our casserole dish, spreading it out nice and even. And regarding the turkey skin I mentioned earlier, I'm gonna throw that down on a sheet pan and set it aside for later. Now I'm with you here, our casserole is not looking that pretty, but our last ingredient will change everything. I'm talking about our leftover mashed potatoes, which is honestly my favorite Thanksgiving side, but we're gonna do a couple things to make these mashed potatoes even better. Now I'm gonna first throw in the yolk of 2 eggs, which to do that, you're gonna crack your egg into a small bowl, but then you're gonna keep the yolk in the 2 pieces of your eggshell, tossing it back and forth, getting rid of all those egg whites. Once the egg whites are no longer attached to the yolk, you're just gonna throw the yolk in your bowl, and then you're gonna do the same thing once more for your second egg. Oh, and don't throw away those egg whites. They're great for a little breakfast omelet. Back to our bowls, I'm gonna mix in our egg yolks with our mashed potatoes. The egg yolks will add a bit more richness and creaminess to our mash, especially when we bake them very shortly. But before that, there's one more ingredient we need, which is medium cheddar cheese. I'm gonna quickly grate our cheese, and I shouldn't have to tell you guys why you should not be buying pre-grated cheese. They're full of wax and chemicals, they're gross. Just grate your own cheese, it's so much better. I grated about half of our cheese block, and I threw in about 3/4 of that cheese into our mashed potatoes, making sure to mix it very thoroughly. Once they were fully mixed, I then layered our mashed potatoes on top of our casserole dish, making sure to spread it out very smoothly and putting enough layers on top so you don't see that that cranberry purpleness underneath it. Once there's enough layers of our mashed potato in our casserole dish, you could also clean up the edges with a paper towel, but from here, I'm gonna sprinkle in the rest of our cheese on top, and I'm gonna hit it with a few cranks of coarse black pepper. And now it's time to bake this Thanksgiving casserole dish. I'm gonna throw it in the middle rack of our oven, and I'm also gonna put a sheet pan on the bottom rack as well, just in case there's any spillage. And remember that turkey skin I told you about? We're gonna throw that in the top rack of our oven to crisp up. I'm gonna check it periodically, but at a 375-degree oven, it should take about 20 to 30 minutes for everything to cook. Now that should give you plenty of time to clean up whatever mess you made, but even more important, what you should be doing is hitting the like and subscribe button on this video. I would appreciate it. Editor Xander here. At the 15-minute mark, our turkey skin got nice and crispy, so I'm gonna set it off to the side to cool. Our casserole got nice and bubbly and heated all the way through at the 30-minute mark. If you wanna crisp up the outside of your casserole dish a little bit more, set your oven to broil and broil it for 1 to 2 minutes. Now you're gonna want it to rest for 10 minutes, and in the meantime, we're gonna grab that crispy skin that we crisped up, throwing it in a little container, and then smashing it into little pieces with our fingers. You should have some nice little flakes of our turkey skin, and now I'm gonna sprinkle that over our casserole along with some minced Italian parsley, and you're done. You have an amazing Thanksgiving leftovers casserole, which is extremely low effort to make, but also tastes absolutely insane. But there's only one way to find out, so let's taste it. Alrighty, we have a beautiful casserole with all of our Thanksgiving leftovers in it. I kind of botched it when putting on the plate, but that's okay. Let's get a nice little bite of everything here. Oh my God. I'm not lying when I say this is one of the best things I've ever had in my life. Everything tastes so good. The cornbread absorbed all those juicy flavors from our pork. Our focaccia cooked down a little bit and tasted kind of like a stuffing, and our turkey, oh my God, mwah. Chef's kiss. Visually, it doesn't look that great. I kind of did a bad job plating it, but this tastes so good. This tastes better than Thanksgiving, honestly. I am mind blown right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new, because I sure did. If you want to see my turkey video to see how I make my Thanksgiving turkey, here's the link right now. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all your guys' support, and have a wonderful rest of your day.